radioonfire.com, thediamondkshow.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Radio on Fire talks to America through digital news broadcast and social media content. We are a rising multimedia platform generating over 350,000 listeners and viewers per month through our video and audio streams from politics, breaking news, celebrity info, sports talk, pop culture, and so much more. Radio on Fire keeps our audience covered. As I said, Diamond K in here, and this is a bad day for everyone, I guess, except maybe Donald Trump. Donald Trump is probably rubbing his hands like Birdman right about now. And why? Why is he doing that? It is the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So she was a women's rights champion. She was the Supreme Court's second female justice, and she died today at her home in Washington. She was 87 years old. And you may wonder, why am I saying that this is a bad day? Her death is just 6 weeks before the election. And what is sure to be one of the most controversial elections in modern history. We're just 6 weeks away. And we have the death of this very important Supreme Court justice. So the battle is going to be a heated battle on whether or not President Trump gets to nominate someone, and the Republican-led Senate, whether they should confirm her replacement or if the seat should remain vacant until the outcome of the race against Joe Biden is known. So it is definitely using what's happened in the past, but we all know that McConnell and Trump are going to do whatever they can do to try to muck this up. So our nation has lost a historic stature. We at the Supreme Court have lost a cherished colleague. Today, we mourn, but with confidence that future generations will remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg as we knew her, a timeless and resolute champion of justice. Chief Justice John Roberts said this about the notorious RBG. They did a spin on the obviously notorious BIG. So that was interesting nickname for this for this Jewish lady. Ginsburg, let me get this out the way. So she's had some health complications. This has been talked about over the years, but let me say this, okay? And I want to make sure that that this is said, because people are going to say a lot of nice things about her, as they should. She's going to be celebrated, as she should be. But I want to I definitely want to explain how and why we are in the situation that we are in. What am I talking about? All right, so let me say this. The Supreme Court Justice, the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, should have stepped down during the Obama administration. Many people wanted her to do that, okay? She should have stepped down so that President Obama could have nominated someone younger. I definitely respect her, and I want to say RIP to her, but it was very selfish of her to stay on the bench as late as she did, well into her 80s. It was selfish of her to do that. Now we're in the situation that we're in with one of the most tyrannical presidents that this nation has ever had. We're giving him this. I don't even understand how we got here again, but the selfishness of RBG is something that has to be said. Now, people are going to be in their feelings about it. You're going to have an attitude about it. I'm saying it, and let me reiterate this. She should have stepped down during the Obama administration, but she did not because of her own selfishness, quest for power, right? Had she stepped down during that time where there was pressure for her to do so, she was nominated by Jimmy Carter, right? She had done amazing things. She had already cemented her legacy at that point. So I had to get that out of the way. I had to say that because that is a fact. So, of course, she's in her late 80s. She's had a lot of health issues. She was tough as nails. She is someone who should be mourned by liberals and conservatives. She was an American. And that part is not anything that can be taken lightly. She had cancer. She fought that. There was a lot. She is gone. And her appointment by Bill Clinton in 1993 was the first by a Democrat in 26 years. All right. 26 years. She initially found I think she was somewhere left of center in the beginning, in the 90s, when she was appointed by Bill Clinton. But her voice grew, I would probably say, more liberal the longer she served over time. But this is not a day that people did not expect. We knew that this day was coming. We knew that because, as I said, she was ill. And she had been ill. And, one of the things that really makes this tricky, is that we are so close. We are so close to the election. So now, when Barack Obama nominated Merrick Garland back in 2016, Mitch McConnell refused to even hold a hearing on the seat because the vacancy occurred during an election year. So here we are again, election year, and you have to remind him what he said in the past. But understand this, he has no shame. He has no shame. The American people should have a voice in the selection of their next Supreme Court justice. Therefore, this vacancy should not be filled until we have a new president. Now, here's what he's going to say. He's going to say that was in the second term of the president, and that's what made him a lame duck president. And he's going to say that Trump is in the first term, and he's not a lame duck president, and he still could be the president, but he may not, right? But that's what he's going to say. That's what he's going to say. But the question on whether to hold hearings is ultimately up to the Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman, Lindsey Graham. Now, Lindsey Graham is in a very unique situation. Timing is everything. And as I said, and as you already know, there is a good chance that Republicans will lose control of the Senate in January. It's a good chance for this. Lindsey Graham is also under pressure because in South Carolina, he is facing a very credible re-election threat from a Democrat named Jamie Harrison. So things are going to really be interesting. There is a Supreme Court crisis going on because we don't know what's going to happen. And it takes time to find someone suitable, worthy, deserving of the highest court in the land. But of course, like most things, Trump is going to rush through this. Yes, they have some names that they tried to, maybe get in the last time. So then go dust off an old list. If Trump is able to put another Supreme Court justice on the bench and Biden is elected president, expect Democrats to try to increase the size of the Supreme Court. They're going to try to increase the size. If Trump gets another conservative voice on the Supreme Court, Democrats, if they get control, the Senate turns over, Biden gets elected, Democrats are going to try to increase the size of the Supreme Court to try to get another liberal voice on there. That's what's going to and Republicans are going to whine and cry and complain. All of this is happening, and like I said, we are weeks away from the election. This is literally like a TV series, and a bad one at that, because we have someone at the helm who is not qualified. Talking about the president, not qualified in the least. Donald Trump wants to control things that he shouldn't even be worried about. Whether it's college sports, whether it's TikTok and WeChat. TikTok, by the way, has been banned from U.S. app stores. So starting on Sunday, if you have TikTok on your phone right now, good for you. However, after Sunday, you're not going to be able to get it. TikTok is going to be removed at midnight on Sunday as Washington implements executive orders from Trump. And they're also going to target WeChat, which is a Chinese social media app. The Commerce Department plans to restrict access to TikTok and WeChat on Sunday. So this move is going to prohibit the app sale. Apple, Google, it's not going to be there. So if you have the app already, it's not going to operate at its full capacity. You're not going to get updates and things like that would come from the app. So I don't expect that TikTok is going to go down in popularity because many people already have it, right? Many people already have it. And I think just because the president is trying to puff up his chest and make himself look like he's doing something to China, I don't think that that's going to make people stop using it. I don't think that at all. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you going to still use TikTok and WeChat? If you used WeChat, are you going to still use these apps after Sunday? Let me know about that. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with more of the program after this. We are back. Your man Diamond K in here, of course, RadioFire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. Jam-packed show today. We have a lot of things that we're going to get into. And so, of course, the Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passing away. And it is not it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. The Supreme Court Justice, 87 years old, passing away. And she had a lot of ailments. She was tough, but she is gone. And this potentially gives President Trump, gives him another Supreme Court Justice pick, potentially. And, many people are not happy about that. Many people are happy about it, but many people not happy about it. And so as we talk a little bit about the coronavirus in Maryland, effective on Monday, 5 p.m., indoor expand to 75% capacity. And that is something that the governor, Larry Hogan, announced today. And giving into pressure, we talked about this a few days ago. He was getting pressure from restaurants that were noting that the weather is changing. And with this change in the weather, they thought that it was going to put a limit on the outdoor dining idea. So they wanted more indoor dining. So they're going to get 75% dining Monday, 5 p.m. And, right in time for Maryland Restaurant Week, which runs through September the 27th. So I said this: as we continue with the third and final stage of our recovery, I want to commend our state's restaurant industry for their incredible resilience this year and for their continued commitment to the health and safety of Marylanders. This is Governor Larry Hogan. He said this in a statement. He also continued by saying, to celebrate the first ever Maryland Restaurant Week, I encourage Marylanders to support their favorite local businesses, whether you do so through delivery, curbside pickup, or by dining indoors or outdoors. So the leisure and hospitality industry helped drive another drop in Maryland's unemployment rate, according to data that came out today. So as I said, starting Monday, if you are in Maryland, you are going to be able to enjoy restaurant dining up to 75%. And that is something that the governor announced today. So as it relates to the post office, we've been talking about the post office, and there were a lot of changes made. You may have noticed that mail has been later than normal because there was a concerted effort by this administration to slow the mail down. He's trying every trick in the book. But thankfully, a federal judge says that the United States Post Office delays were an intentional effort to undermine fair elections. And then on the other hand, Trump is talking about how he feels that we can't trust the results of the election, of course, unless he wins. And then on the other hand, he's intentionally trying to undermine fair elections in the United States. So the federal judge has blocked a series of actions that have been implemented by another Trump lackey, who is the Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy. So widespread mail delays, which were intentional. In a very strongly worded opinion, District Court Judge Stanley A. Barstein of Washington State issued a national injunction prohibiting DeJoy from implementing changes ranging from cutting overtime to removing 671 mail sorting machines to forcing mail trucks to leave on time even if the mail is not ready. They were doing all this stuff in an attempt to cheat the American people out of a fair election. Because let's keep in mind, we're in a pandemic. We're in a pandemic that has been made worse by the efforts of this president, who then turned around and tried to cripple the mailing system in which people affected by the pandemic were going to use to cast votes. This is almost criminal. So Trump has already admitted that he's refusing to support $25 billion in funding for the post office in his attempt to sabotage mail-in voting. So 72% of the decommissioned high-speed mail sorting machines that were decommissioned were located in counties where Hillary Clinton received the most votes in 2016. Let me say that again. Okay? 72% of the decommissioned high-speed mail sorting machines were taken from counties that Hillary Clinton received the most votes in 2016. They are specifically targeting areas where Trump is usually not going to win because of the high Democratic electorate. So he's making this intentional effort to try and cripple the post office. And over time, everything done in the dark comes to light. And a lot of these things are coming to light right now. So there's going to be a lot of talk about the effects of the Supreme Court justice passing away, the effects of the post office, all of these things coming together. So the passing of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is something that can energize Trump. The ruling from this Washington state judge is something that would hurt Trump from the standpoint of the cheating that he's trying to do. The scrutiny on Louis DeJoy, this Trump lackey, is playing out in the courts. And in recent days, significant rulings have come down to combat these mailing delays. On Thursday, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said that ballots postmarked by Election Day could be counted until 3 days after the election, and the state could set up drop boxes where voters could return mail ballots. Most Americans want a fair election. Most Trump supporters know that the president is not popular past the base. Now, some people don't like Biden, right? As much as they hate Trump, That's the question, right? You've seen what leadership of Trump has done. Mismanagement, mishandling, lies, deceit, incompetence. That's what we've seen. The most important state for Trump is Florida. And Florida is going to be close. Just like in 2000, for people that are old enough to remember, Florida is going to be significant. Trump can't win Florida. This is a wrap. It's not even going to matter because he's not going to be able to get the electoral vote to win if he loses Florida. So while this is election day that's going to turn to election week, we will know the results of Florida election day, probably around 11:30. We should know the results of that. That's going to tell the tale. Now, this is going to be a tight state. Florida is going to be a tight state. While seniors, a demographic that Trump was very, very successful in 2016, he doesn't have the same hold on seniors in Florida that he used to. So he's trying to go after Cuban Americans. And Cuban Americans tend to be more conservative, small c. And I think that words like socialism scare them. Now, even though Trump is the one talking about socialism and talking about Biden being controlled by the radical left, that's something that may scare Cuban Americans. So while Trump is suffering from losses of support among seniors in Florida, he's trying to increase support and increase voter turnout, ironically, from Cuban Americans. Ironically. And speaking of ironically, he's also trying to buy votes now after throwing paper towels, after calling Puerto Ricans dirty and saying all types of negative things about Puerto Rico. Now, years after, now he's trying to give money to Puerto Rico and he's trying to buy their votes. He's shameless. He's tacky. He's classless. And it is obvious what he is doing, but that is what this guy is trying to do. Most people can see through it. Most people can identify what he's doing. But that's what's happening. That is what is happening right now. So, federal judge says that DeJoy's efforts, post office, were intentional. Intentional. Imagine if Barack Obama was accused of this type of lawlessness. People on the Republican side would be losing their minds. Speaking of losing their minds, Kim Klacik, who is running against Kweisi Mfume after losing to him earlier this year, went on The View, and as could be expected, she had a tough time on The View. She said, Kim Klacik said that Trump has shown the opposite of racism. Talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. So if one loss this year was not enough, she wants to lose again. And while she has raised her social media presence and her national presence with regards to showing the worst parts of Baltimore, she has done little. Kimberly Klacik has done little by way of talking about what she will actually attempt to do in the district that includes Baltimore, which she has never lived in before. And so she's walked around in some of her nicest clothes in some of the worst areas. But I have not heard her talk about what she's going to actually do. I hear her spitting all of the top Republican talking points, like opportunity zones, which I think most people don't understand. The opportunity zone is not an opportunity for the average person. It's an opportunity for rich people to come in and invest and hurry up and exceedingly push gentrification. So they're investing in the community to push out the less fortunate people and the people making less money so they can use this opportunity to funnel money. It is not an opportunity zone for the average Baltimorean. So a lot of times when you talk about opportunity zones, most people don't even know what opportunity zones are. This is not an opportunity for you. This is an opportunity for rich people to come in and then push out the poorer people. So how is that a good thing? That's not a good thing. But you constantly hear Trump bootlickers and Trump supporters talking about opportunity zones. It's foolishness. It's foolishness. It's like they give them some talking points. Right? You're Republican, you're going somewhere, say this, say that. So that is some things I need to get off my chest. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with more of the program after this break.
Oh, my nigga Diamond K on the check-in. Salute Diamond K, radioonfire.com. Let me check on his site. Hold on a second. That's my homie from B More.
You are now streaming worldwide on radioonfire.com and the Radio on Fire app.
Diamond K, are you moving to the ATL? I know you were talking about that, man, before the pandemic.
Giving you more talk, more news, and more music. It's Radio on Fire.
Okay, there you go. RadioOnFire.com. That's the homie, Diamond K.
Thank you for listening to Radio on Fire.
I see High Roller Records, Jay Jackson Live, The Diamond K Show, of course. Yeah, folks, make sure you check out my homie, RadioOnFire.com. That's Diamond K.
Follow us on all social media at Radio on Fire.
Welcome back to the program. Your man Diamond K in here, of course. As always. And something that has really been unfolding, and we've been getting more and more layers of this. That is the pending divorce between Dr. Dre and his estranged wife, Nicole Young. This thing is really getting messy, as most divorces do. Most divorces tend to get messy. So there's no surprise there. This story, of course, on radioonfire.com. So Nicole Young is alleging in new court documents that Dr. Dre is attempting to hide his assets. So according to her, he's trying to hide money. And she's also accusing him of some domestic abuse. She said that he, put his hands on her, right? Dr. Dre is a notorious serial woman beater. It's something that people have often swept under the rug because of his talent. But it's true. We've seen evidence of it. Multiple women. So in these new court documents, Nicole alleges that Dr. Dre has created a new holding company for what she claims is community property, meaning that he's putting stuff in this holding company that belongs to the couple. That's what she's saying. Namely, the trademarks for Dr. Dre and the Chronic. Now, it is very frustrating. So let me say that again. Nicole Young is saying that the trademarks for Dr. Dre, his name, and the Chronic, which is his landmark album from 1992, that's community property. Did she bump her head? They got married in 1996. Chronic came out in 1992. And he had a career. Most of Dr. Dre's hits happened before he even got married to this lady. But she's still trying to, she's mad at him. And just let's say this, just because he hit D Barnes and just because he hit Michelle A does not necessarily mean that he hit Nicole Young. She's just saying that. But we need to see some evidence. Kids are grown. So she's definitely going to try to take this into the gutter. Now, let me say this. I'm not going to make excuses for Dre. His reputation precedes him. Reputations precede him. Now, let me say this. Couple married in 1996. He was already Dr. Dre. Okay? He was already Dr. Dre. Left Death Row Records in 1995. Dr. Dre used the name, whose real name was, of course, we said Andre Young. He'd been using his name, Dr. Dre, since the mid-'80s. So she's bumped her head with this. She might be better suited with the domestic violence charges, but I don't know if she'll be able to prove that. Maybe she's going to try to say that Dr. Dre hit Michelle A so hard that Nicole Young felt it. I mean, because since she likes claiming stuff that happened before he was with her, she might be better suited to do that. So Nicole says that the decisions to move the trademarks and other assets highlight an epic failure and reveals that the true nature of his character or lack thereof. She asserts that Dr. Dre got the trademark in 1997 when the two were already married. That's what she is alleging. So what's more, Nicole is alleging that she was a victim of domestic abuse throughout the marriage. She does not specify any dates, doesn't have any pictures, doesn't have any witnesses or anything like that. 26 years together. Dr. Dre is saying that there has never been any hint or claim of threat or actual physical violence, and the insinuation is an insult to real victims of domestic abuse. I mean, that is a very curious statement coming from, considering that it's coming from Dr. Dre's camp, but that is the statement. This divorce proceeding is going to be messy, and many people like messiness. So for those that like messiness, I am sure that this Dr. Dre, Nicole Young battle that is gearing up is going to give you all of the messiness and the drama and the entertainment that you probably want. So this last story, we talked about Boosie yesterday, and I like Boosie for one. I think that Boosie is starting to accept the fact that his Instagram days may not be what they once were. He has been letting his feelings be known with regards to Kanye West and his tweets about Drake. Boosie says that Kanye's tweets about the Canadian rapper revealed jealousy. Kanye has been mentioning Drake quite a bit on Twitter. And Boosie said that the continuous mentions show, you want to be like Drake. So in this tweet, Boosie, who is on Twitter as Boosie Official, said, "Why you can't keep Drake out your mouth, bruh? I'm going to say it. Stop hating. Hashtag stop hating. Shaking my head. You showing straight jealousy. You ain't even got to do it. You rich nigga. Shaking my head." And like I said, so that is from Boosie. And you can see the tweet there. So Academics posted this, and it is that picture, and you can see that this is the tweet that we just read, and you can see in the tweet that Drake, who is Champagne Poppy, liked it because it's true. It's true. So now Boosie posted it, Academics reposted it, and Drake liked it when Academics reposted it. So that's sometimes other people can do the talking for you, and you don't even have to say anything. Kanye has been going over the deep end, just saying stuff. Whenever that white MAGA crowd is not accepting him, then he just wants to come and start talking craziness. And that's what he's been doing as of late, talking craziness. I just don't understand how this guy wants people to feel sorry for him. You rich, right? He wants to talk. All he's talking about is his money all the time, right? And we are in the midst of a pandemic, and you want people to feel sorry for you, or some contract that you signed, or any other foolishness that you've gotten yourself involved in. Nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody. People are laughing at you, and he wants to try to throw Jay-Z under the bus and say this and show contracts. And next week he's going to be crying and apologizing. And don't fall for this foolishness, okay? He's just trying to get attention, right? He's just trying to get attention. And I, for one, think that we should stop giving him attention. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show. Is this the end of TikTok, right? Do I need to take TikTok off of the rundown? I do have it downloaded. I think that one thing, this is going to up the downloads on TikTok. You can always advertise with us, connect your message with our very engaged audience of over 350,000 listeners and viewers per month. RadioOnFire.com/advertise is where you go. You can follow the program on Spotify or your favorite podcast network. And new shows drop daily. RadioOnFire.com, thediamondkshow.com. Weekend, tomorrow, 12 noon, I will be in the mix here on RadioOnFire.com/live, also on Facebook, on YouTube, etc. And that's at 12 noon. 2 p.m. tomorrow, the We Live in Atlanta podcast with Truth Hurts and Jay Jackson Live will be on. Sunday, 12 noon, I will be back in the mix. 5 p.m., His and Her show with Sweet Tea and myself. 11 p.m., this is on Sunday. I Want Luscious TV, 11 p.m. with Ricky Gambini and Luscious Kisses. So definitely stay tuned in all weekend. You can always support the program via Cash App, $ DJ Diamond K. Of course, your donations help us continue to do what we do here on the program. And that's to bring you independent news, progressive opinion on politics, social issues, and entertainment. You have something that you need to promote. You got an album. You have a restaurant. You have a book. Hit me up. Media request, djdiamondk@gmail.com. And bring you on the program. Let's do this. Until next time, which is going to be tomorrow at 12 noon. If you see it, then you can be it. It is all about having vision. Man, Diamond K, I will see you guys tomorrow.